Welcome. Tonight's program will go deep into fringe knowledge of lost, hidden, and suppressed truths about the nature of our reality. The decoding process can be uncomfortable and at times frightening. However, you are not alone on this journey of understanding. Welcome to the Shadow Band podcast, and welcome home.
Hello,
We're back.
recording.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Lizard people.
What is happening?
Recording in
You're the
progress.
worst.
Hello.
Well,
You're fired.
we're back and we're down a microphone now. So there's that.
Down the new microphone.
Down a new microphone. Been a week. Been more than a week.
Everybody
It's
was
been
sick.
a minute.
Everybody
It's
got
been a minute.
sick. We all had the Rona. No, we
Yeah,
didn't. We
no.
didn't. We had something else.
Mhm.
We had the new thing, whatever the new thing is. The
new strain.
conspiracy targeted viral VMAT. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
You just said something that's gonna get our
I know the
episode
episode's
banned.
already deleted.
2 seconds.
2 seconds in. You're done.
That's funny. So what's up, guys?
I don't know. It's
Mm.
actually, yeah, it's been a blur of a week, that's for sure. And I told you, but I should have probably announced it in the group because everyone cares. Just kidding. But we deleted our social media
Woo!
for the month. So it's actually been pretty nice.
That's good.
Yeah. Like it took like a day or two to get out of the like feeling like I need to pick up my phone and check it. And I actually found myself clicking on the app that was in the spot where Facebook was
Like
and
on
opening it
accident?
and being like, what am I doing? And I was like, not Facebook. And I'm like, it's an app that I don't use, you know,
Ooh,
but
spooky.
I would just like mindlessly
Yeah.
clicking because that's where I would normally click, you know, and I'm like, ew,
That's funny.
that's when you know you need to take a break.
So what are you spending your time doing now?
Just being in the moment, you know?
You just sit there and just be in the moment? Like that's
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Because I felt like I couldn't just sit there, do nothing type of thing. Like I always had to be on my phone. Like I was saying in the last episode, I don't know if it was in the episode or not, but I would be like calling a patient and I couldn't even just listen to the phone ring, but without having to like be doing something on my phone while I
Right.
was waiting for it to ring for
Yeah.
20
Keep you
seconds.
entertained, right? While you're in the
and
waiting
I'm not
room
looking
and
at
everything
anything
else.
that
Yeah.
I haven't
That's a good
just
point,
looked
man.
at.
Honestly, like when I go to I had to go to the DMV last month, right? And like I'm
Mhm.
sitting in there waiting, and I'm looking around and I see everybody on their phone
Mhm.
using it to entertain themselves,
Yeah.
you know, and I just wasn't, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know why. I just didn't feel like I wanted to be on my phone. So I'm
Yeah.
literally the only person in here looking
Mhm.
at everybody on their phones. And I was kind of doing that. I was just observing.
That's
Yeah.
how it is when
But
I
even
go to
at
lunch
home,
with
like
my coworkers.
with the kids, you know, you find yourself instead of like playing with them, you're like checking your phone more than you need to. So just like sitting and watching them playing with them,
Yeah.
being more
You
productive.
said you
with
do that with lunch with
chores.
your coworkers. You just,
They'll be on the phones. Just all 4 of us, 5 of us at a table, and everybody's on their phone except me. And I'm like, I'm the millennial here.
Yeah. It's different. And I feel like I'm less overwhelmed feeling.
Hmm.
Like I haven't seen anything negative this week, like seen anything negative.
right.
Only anything that I've actually experienced myself that might have been negative. The one thing I have to say I do miss is the memes.
Memes
I
are
haven't
fun.
seen a good meme in a week,
Memes
you
are
know,
fun.
and gotten a little chuckle.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I was listening to a podcast the other day and this guy was talking about meme magic, right? How
Mhm.
there's people that have figured out ways to do magic with memes.
Really?
Yeah, just
Ew.
I mean, it makes sense. It's just like anything else, you know. You have something that's catchy. It's all the neurological triggers. It's all it is. I mean, the word magic is just kind of like
Yeah.
a spooky word, but yeah,
Right.
you just hit
Interesting.
neurological triggers with memes, you know, and
Uh-huh.
that's kind of like, and this guy's little spiel, it was like that's how Trump kind of won, was the 4chan trolls, because that's what they were.
Mhm.
4chan trolls just used meme magic to basically make this whole thing happen, right? And like,
Mhm.
you know, whatever, who knows, but It's interesting. It's an interesting thing. Meme magic. So every
Yeah.
time I see a meme now, or if I share a meme, it's like in the back of my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm participating in meme magic right now.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's like those are something on social media that you normally, it's like not something that bums you out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's one thing.
Well, that's
Like,
good.
I haven't laughed at a meme in a week, but I even deleted my Robinhood app.
Good for you. You know what? It's funny you say that because the other day I sold all my
I didn't
shit.
sell.
I sold.
But I just
I said, fuck it. I sold.
deleted it and I'll check it.
I pulled my
when I
energy
can.
out of the system. I preach a lot about pulling energy out of the system, and I don't live what I preach most of the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm pulling out of the system. And you know what's really funny about that, dude? Like we always talk about the synchronicities and things always happen. And like, dude, I was looking at Robinhood after one of these episodes, and I had talked about pulling out of the system and that. And then like I'm looking at it, and I'm like, man, you know, I got like 10 shares of AMC. I had one
I sold my
GameStop.
AMC.
Yeah, you know, I had like a
Because it
little
did
bit there.
go
It was like a
back
few
up.
$100, $400 or $500 worth of shares. And then like the next day it went up like substantially. Like it
Yeah,
went up
That's
like
when I sold.
yeah, to like I think I sold at like 25 or 27, something like that. So I
Mhm.
sold, I made like a few $100. I paid a few bills and I was like, boom, I'm happy. And I told myself when I hit the button, I was like, I know that it's gonna go higher and I'm gonna be
Right.
pissed. And it did. The next week it went up to like $70.
It did?
Yeah.
This recently?
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Like
I
a week
deleted
ago.
Robinhood for
Yeah.
that reason.
But
I
I'm
was
not
like,
mad
because
because
I knew I was going to feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? I'm fine with, but I also don't want to see it,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, I'm not mad. I mean, because all the homies were like, "Oh, damn, you sold, bro! Like, I
Yeah.
made $700." I'm like, bro, I made like a few $100,
Mhm.
and in total, over the course of the last 6 months of putting my energy into, I made like a few $1,000.
Yeah.
Pulling out pieces of it, and it's just
Mhm.
like my energy is worth more to me.
Yeah.
I've spent time now, like just observing. Dude, I spent like 20 minutes today watching 2 hawks in my yard.
Yeah.
Just literally, I could see him out the window. He was perched on the thing, and I'm just watching him. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. I got the binoculars out. I'm watching him. And then another one swooped in another tree, like in the same field of view. So I'm watching 2 of them. 20
Mhm.
minutes goes by. I'm like, dude, I would have wasted that 20 minutes trolling through Facebook and never even noticed those 2 cool ass fucking hawks
Yeah.
just chilling.
It's true. And yeah, with the stocks, it's true. It's like, yeah, you can make some money, but I feel like more often you get that negativity out of it because
Mhm.
it's like you sell it and you're like, okay, I'm good with this, but then it always goes up more, and then you're like, oh, I should have, and
always
it's like
always
it's
a
just
bigger fish, man.
yeah,
And it's
it's
just like
definitely, and you feel like you have to constantly be looking at it.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I deleted it, is because I was just like refreshing. I'm like,
it's the energy,
Ugh,
man. I
you
just, I want to pull my energy out of stuff that's not necessarily benefiting me. I guess, a few $100 is beneficial, but it's not as beneficial as my time personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go to work to make the few $100 that I need a week, and I go to my second job to make a few $100 extra bucks a week. I don't need to put
Mhm.
any more time in to make a few $100 extra bucks more. It's just like, where's my time?
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
but yeah, it's crazy. I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy for you guys. I'm glad that you guys deleted the
Yeah,
app.
I definitely needed it. So
It's good. Everybody else should do it too. I should
I
do it
think so
too.
too.
Yeah.
I was wondering, well, I haven't seen Facebook, but I still have the Discord. And I was like, okay, well, this one is not like Facebook where it's like, made to make you addicted. So I was like, I'll just participate in that for whatever's going on. And then you haven't been posting in there.
Yeah, this
so
week
I'm
has
like,
been kind of crazy. So, and that's why we haven't posted a video yet this week, is just because like, I don't know, everything. Like we all got sick, and then like I
Mhm.
moved my house, and it's just like been a busy ass week. You know what I
Life.
mean? I worked
Yeah,
2
for
days
sure.
last weekend after working the whole week. So it was just like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I need to start doing more. I've been kind of neglecting the podcast on the back end for the last like couple weeks. I haven't really been doing
That's okay
any.
though. Sometimes,
you
I feel like it can burn you out. You know what I mean? Like when you feel like you're being pulled in so many different directions, and like you do take on a lot of the podcast stuff because you're the brains behind all of the theories and stuff. So I don't mind if you
It's a
take
lot.
time
It's cool.
off.
I'm trying to do more video stuff. I posted a couple short videos. I don't know if you guys saw those or not, but like I'm trying to work on videos, because when I got into conspiracies, you'd get on YouTube and you'd find like 90% of it was just conspiracy videos. And most of them are really bad, but you'd always come across some that were just done well. Whether the information was like 100% or not, didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because I like documentaries in general. So like, it's just nice to watch a documentary that's about some crazy Philadelphia experiment or whatever,
Yeah.
So it's like, But you can't do that anymore on YouTube. I mean, they're there, but it's bullshit now. Everything's so censored and
Right.
just garbage. So
People aren't gonna see it like.
yeah, it's not
they
the
should.
same. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not the same as it used to be. So I'm trying to get into more of that thing. I bought like a video editing software. I've
Cool.
been doing little videos. So I'm going to start putting together, hopefully some point this year, like 5, 10 minute, 20 minute videos about the shit that we talk about, just to kind of bring it all together.
Yeah,
You know,
that'd be cool for sure. So did you have any topics you wanted to talk about this week?
not really in particular. Obviously, like Fauci fucked up.
Okay, what happened?
Did you not get the memo? Well, you've been
No.
off Facebook. You don't know
Yeah,
shit.
I don't
You
know
don't watch the
anything.
news
It's
either, do you?
great. I don't watch the
Oh,
news.
okay. Yeah. Well,
I don't know anything.
Freedom of Information request. Fauci's emails came out. BuzzFeed, of all people, got the emails, which is kind of odd to me, which makes me question this whole thing.
Like they were put out there on purpose.
Yeah, I
or
don't know, man.
something?
It's questionable, like how the emails were requested and stuff like that. But it doesn't really matter. Anyways, the emails come out, and Fauci was basically bullshitting everybody, which we all knew. All the things that we've all been talking about that have been conspiracy theories this whole time. Fauci has been basically a fucking conspiracy theorist, you know, if you take that, right? So what he said with the masks at first was like, oh, you know, you don't need a mask. That was his first thing. You don't need a mask, right?
Yeah.
Then he turned around and said, you need a mask. And he told us that he lied to us originally because he didn't want there to be a panic and everybody to buy all the masks. So that emergency personnel. So he told us we didn't need them, but he told us that he lied to us for a good cause. And everybody was okay with that for some reason, whatever. Then comes to find out, you know, you need 2 masks and all this shit. And then, you know, think about the nationwide or the global mask mandates and all this stuff. Come to find out, he's emailing back and forth with people saying that the masks they're really not that effective. The masks that you buy at retail outlets is just not that effective. It's
Which we know.
People
are just
yeah. And of course he says in there like, oh yeah, you know, stop gross droplets, you know, or whatever he says, you know, like large drops, somebody coughs directly on you or sneeze on you. Sure, it can help. But like these masks were designed to be effective in a sterile environment. If you're in a sterile environment and you have a mask on, it'll do a pretty damn good job.
Yeah. And it's like nobody's, especially the masks that are like washable, nobody's freaking washing them like they're supposed to.
Of course not. They hang them up on the key ring for like a day or two, or it hangs in their car, or they got the same one.
You wear it, it gets all whatever germs on the front, and then you take it off and touch it, and you put it in your purse, and it touches all your crap. Like,
or like Josh said, as soon as you walk out your front door, you got 10 trillion microbes that just hit your mask. Like,
it's just
you keep
so
it in
dumb.
your back pocket and fart on it and put it in your face.
Yeah, dude, like for real, man. But like, you know,
so
if you're in the surgery room and everything's sterile and you put one of those sterile masks on, of course it's going to help. That's what they're designed for. It's not designed for everybody.
Yeah, but the ones we have are not sterile, even to start.
Of course, yeah. And but the big thing, that was big. I mean, of course, but the big thing is the gain of function research, right?
Okay.
The gain of function shit. Remember we talked about this? I posted the document in the files tab on a group like months ago in like February or something like that about the gain of function. It's literally like, you know, Fauci's been being grilled in DC about the gain of function. He's literally been lying his ass off saying that that they're not funding it. It's been done. It has nothing to do with the gain of function. Emails come out. Oh, he's emailing back and forth to the place in Wuhan, asking them like, yo, is there an issue?
Wait, the place in Wuhan, not the cave where they ate the bat?
Yeah, not the cave where they ate the bat.
Oh, okay.
Not the market where they bought the bat suit. He was actually emailing the Wuhan lab, questioning, like having conversations like, yo, what happened? He was basically saying, is this our fault? Did we fuck up? That's what he was basically getting to the bottom with the institute. Wow. As he's telling you and me and everybody else that it's a conspiracy theory.
Right.
Came from the wet market.
Yeah.
Everybody else is a conspiracy theorist. It's dangerous. This is a threat to our democracy. Fuck that guy, dude. Remember what I told you guys on that first episode? Look at Fauci with AIDS, and you were like, Fauci has AIDS? And I was like, no. Like, look into Fauci, like with the AIDS whole thing. Like, that's coming out now too. And somebody messaged me like, bro, you were right about that. And I was like, I wasn't right. I mean, I didn't discover that.
Right. You just shared the facts.
Exactly. You know, and it's like these people, man, you know, but it's coming out. All we're watching the dismantling and the crumbling of the deep state.
Mhm.
If you ask me, it's already happened. It's already done. The deep state's already done. I think that the New World Order died. I'm starting to think, that's what I was telling you before. I'm starting to think that this whole like they're doing all this shit to try to get the New World Order in place. Like I think they already failed, and that we're seeing this theater to cushion our trauma from the whole thing. You know,
I mean, it's possible.
some big people have gone down the last few years. I mean, Epstein, people are like, well, nothing happened with Epstein. And it's like, we don't know that.
Right.
You know, if they went and rounded up a bunch of Saudi princes that were involved with Epstein on like a big level, like you wouldn't know about that. Well, you can hear about that on CNN or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like I guess I missed a lot this week so far.
yeah, that's just the Fauci stuff.
Yeah. What else is going on in the world?
Yeah, there was something else too that happened the other day. I was
The
trying
conspiracy theory world.
to, I don't know. I can't think of it right now. There was something else with Bill Gates, and I can't think of what the fuck happened. Bill Gates did something else.
More stuff.
I can't remember
What
it was.
hasn't he done?
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I've seen a bunch of articles floating around about food shortages. Right? They hacked him. They hacked him. There was a hack at a meat plant or a meat processing plant. You hear about this, Kramer? The hack at a meat processing facility or a meat packaging or
I think so.
somewhere on the food chain. I'm going to get this wrong, but somewhere up the food chain of the distribution, there's a hack somewhere, just like the gas pipeline. There was like a food hack thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've read articles on this. So, you know,
How does that even work?
well, it's not hard. What do you mean, like hacking?
Yeah, like how do you hack food?
Well, everything's run off of electronics. Everything has computers and internet.
It's
And
just the system.
yeah, you just hack into the computer, you fuck with some shit or shut the systems down, who knows? And then just stuff doesn't operate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I bought a 30-day
You know what I
supply
want to
of food.
say or put out there? Because look, again, my phone has been randomly just no service. Have you had that happen to you?
No, but my service has been ass lately.
Like literally no bars. And I'm not in the middle of nowhere. And this is just happening all the time.
You have to
And
upgrade.
then this is a brand new phone that has 5G.
Get
Okay.
that thing out of here.
Where's the 5G? I don't even have any signal.
You have 5G in here?
No, but if you go to the end of Goldenrod, I do.
It's okay. I have a 5G necklace. I am safe.
But I want to put it out there to see if anybody else has been noticing that the service has just been non-existent randomly lately, and in places that you would normally have service. Like this is a very populated area.
Right.
There is signal anywhere over here. Why do I have no signal? With a brand new phone that can have 5G signal. And then Megan, my sister, same thing. She was trying to call people the other day. She could not make a phone call.
You want to know why? Here's
Why?
why. Because all of these experts, all of these people that we trust and that we worship because they bring us all of the latest, greatest, right?
Mhm.
They're fucking idiots. All of them. They're all fucking idiots. We think they're smart,
Mhm.
right? They make us think they're smart because they have the ability to get the lawyers to do the right things, to get the thing and blah, 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 right? And they enslave us with their fucking commodities, right? So we all think that they're smart because they're rich and they run big corporations, but they're all dumbasses. That's why shit doesn't work. That's why it's 2021 and
think
you
that's
can't
why?
make a damn
'Cause
phone call.
My thing is like, are they testing like shutting off the grid?
Nah, you know what?
And
I
like
used to think
randomly
that.
here and there, because I'm like, it's just I've never not been able to. I've never not had signal as much as I have lately. And then my sister, who's on a different network, same thing. She just like, sorry, your call cannot be completed, you know? And it's like, what? Like,
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you would have asked me a month ago, I probably would have been like, yeah, man, they're testing to shut the grid down, bro.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna shut the cell circuit. Like I would have said that a month ago, but right now you're asking me, and I'm
you
saying
got signal?
at this particular moment, my opinion is that those people are fucking idiots and they just can't run shit. Just like the people who run the governments around the world, they're all fucking idiots. They can't run shit. They're not creative. They don't have the ability to think beyond their own, benefit. They have no way to like really make things work long term. They just know how to make a facade, and the facade is breaking, like I was saying.
Well, I'm throwing it out there. If anyone else has the same thing happening, let me know, because that's how I feel. Like if we don't all just throw it out there, see who else is having the same thing, we wouldn't know a lot about this whole COVID stuff, like the contact shedding or whatever you want to call it, and the people, like the women whose like cycles are all messed up. Like the media is not telling us about that. It's all word of mouth.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
It's just people talking to each
people
other,
talking to each other, and then you're putting pieces together of like what's going on. But for the last, I don't know, couple of weeks, my phone has just, and it's a brand new phone with 5G.
Could be.
So I don't know. Just saying.
I have a little bit more optimistic of an outlook in the last few days since I've had my mind blown by some new shit.
What?
But I don't want to talk about it yet on this episode because I don't know enough about it to like butcher it.
Okay.
Good enough. I'm gonna butcher it no matter what, but I gotta at least like not butcher it so bad. You know what I mean? But,
so it's not like so doomsday.
No, it's the opposite. I'll just give you the gist of it. Fuck it.
Okay.
There's a guy. His name is, this is weird. His name is Russell-J: Gould.
Okay.
Russell-J: Gould. This guy apparently owns the fucking rights to the United States flag. Okay. And a bunch of other shit. Because in 1999, all of the, what do I call it? All of the like the legal jargon that was written by the forefathers and blah, blah, blah. Like all of that shit basically expired, or the loans from bankruptcy that the country was in. I don't know. That's why I don't want to butcher. All that shit was going down in 1999. And some dude, this guy who I just mentioned, figured it out, knew what to do, what paperwork to file, where and when to file it all. And he did it. And because he did that, he like gained the rights to the flag and like a bunch of other things, which gave him authority over all of these people we would think are in the government. Like we think the president is the president, but according to him, in 1999, all of these contracts that make up our government just cease to exist. So the government doesn't even exist. The Constitution doesn't exist. When people ask, how can these people,
it's null and void at this point?
Absolutely. So when people are like, how could people do this in the government and get away with it? This is a violation to the Constitution. How come nobody's being held accountable? Well, it's because the Constitution doesn't exist anymore. Unfortunately, I know that sounds terrible, but like that whole system ceased to exist in 1999, and everything since then has just been a facade. All the presidents and all the politicians and all the world's wars and the shit is just a facade because none of it's legal. So this guy stepped in and he fucking figured out the loopholes, and now he's changing the world for the better with the new quantum grammar that he's rewriting the contracts of the world with, and blah blah blah. I don't know, look into it. Russell-J: Gould.
Why does he have a name like that?
Because it's proper quantum grammar. And the explanation is your birth certificate, your social security card, all that shit basically just stamps you as a commodity to the corporate state, right? You are of the United States. You are property of the United States because of these documents, right? Him, in his mind, the proper grammar makes that null and void because these contracts, again, were all written under this false grammar, right? Blah, blah, blah. But so the proper way to name yourself is Jeffrey-Aaron: Fernandez.
Interesting.
Russell-J: Gould. I don't know. People look it up. He's got videos, he's got movies and shit. It's deep, bro. It's mind melting. But apparently he's saving the fucking world, man. That's all I can say. People just got to look into it, believe what you want.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, definitely mind blowing. I don't even know.
I did hear something about that years ago that some guy owns the American flag.
Right. And because he owns the rights to the flag, he's also like the postmaster general. He's like the head of the post office, which is the branch of the government that dictates how contracts are written that all other branches of the government rely on. So in order to be a country recognized by the world, you have to have certain things. You have to have like a flag, you have to have like a treasury, you have to have a postal service, you have to have like these functions in order to call yourself a government. Well, in 1999, the US government ceased to exist, and Russell-J: Gould steps in and legally took responsibility for that shit because of whatever. So now he is the one who dictates the wording in the contracts that the world's governments all base their shit on. And he's like a fucking hippie. He's like a genius hippie.
That's so strange.
He's like a genius hippie, man.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's interesting, but it's a very hopeful type of light. He's very like, I'm trying to make changes for it's going to take a long time, blah, 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 blah. Who knows? I'm not saying trust the plan. This is not a Q trust the plan type thing. You know, they're still spraying shit in the sky. I'm pretty fucking sure. But like, yeah, a little positive possibility.
Yeah, like they're still trying to give us that vaccine, you know.
Could be saline.
You think it's saline?
I don't think it's saline. I said it could be saline.
Well, how would you find that out?
Go get your vaccine, and before they jab you with it, just grab the fucking vial from their hand and run. I'm pretty sure that's a federal offense, stealing a vaccine or something like that. But
No,
what if it's if it's your vaccine? Yeah. What if it's your own dose? Take it to a fucking lab and have it tested.
What you do is you put a fat suit on that's got a cavity in it, and then they inject it into the fat suit. You cut that section out, and then you go get that analyzed.
So you're saying that if it's saline, everything is all in on all of our heads?
It would be the ultimate placebo effect experiment.
I wouldn't put it past them. Everything else is an experiment.
Bro, I will personally give everything that I own to the person who puts a fat suit on and gets it injected into a fat suit.
That's a good idea, dude. Okay. But yeah, who knows, man? Question everything, right? Question everything, bro. Yeah. We haven't gotten anything good on the UFOs yet either.
Nothing.
Of course not. Of course not. We're not going to. I'm sorry to burst everybody's bubble. I've wanted it too, man. For like the last 20 years of my life, I wanted the government to come out and tell us everything that they know about the aliens. I just wanted it, man. It's the right thing to do, man.
I was listening to
people want to know.
What podcast is that? Flagrant, I think it is. Flagrant 2 with Andrew Schultz and Akash Singh or whatever his name is. And they were saying that they think that the UFOs are actually, and this is not, I'm sure this is not like exclusive to them, their idea, but I heard them say it, that the UFO sightings that we have are actually all the like superpowers of the world flaunting their aerospace and whatever technology to each other. So to us, it's like, oh, I don't know what that is, but China knows exactly what that is.
Right.
And then same vice versa. We'll see something over in Russia and we're like, oh, who knows? That might be an alien. But America's like, oh, crap. They've got something crazy over there.
Could be, man. But remember, the world governments all work together.
Yeah.
Even though that they act like they don't. That's why they never nuked each other in Antarctica or nuked everybody in space.
Yeah.
You know.
We did watch the King Kong versus Godzilla movie.
Oh, was it good?
No.
I thought it was good.
No.
I don't have high standards, though.
Well, at least you're honest.
I thought it was action packed. It was good, you know, for a King Kong Godzilla movie.
See, I'm like that with movies too. Like, it doesn't have to be a great movie for me to fully enjoy it. You know, like if it looks good, it sounds good, and like there's some shit going on.
There was
like,
so
I'm
much
entertained.
conspiracy stuff, though. Like the whole introduction is just like Operation High Jump.
Oh, I would
have
have
loved
loved it.
These like
I would have loved it if the
articles and conspiracy theory pictures.
Dude,
and
let him sign
Hollow
into our
Earth.
Amazon account
Yeah,
let
so
me
we can
watch it on our Amazon.
Oh, it's on
Prime.
Amazon.
Yeah, we bought it.
We bought
Oh,
it.
you got it. Okay.
Because the boys love that, so they'll watch it probably 100 times.
Yeah, I'll
but
watch that
yeah, you
for
can watch
sure.
it. But yeah, it was all about Hollow Earth. So like they come from Hollow Earth and blah blah blah. It was interesting.
You know, I watched
the big hole that they come from is in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it's like
So
that's
I was
where the
just
hole
like,
that they
whoa,
find.
this is so much of
And
what
then
we've
there's
talked about.
all of the
lately.
Titans are inside the earth.
That kind of thing makes movies good for me. It could be a terrible movie, but if it's full of like little things that I can pinpoint,
That's
I'm
why
like,
I thought it was
"Ooh."
interesting because of the,
You know?
the podcast. I was like, oh, we talked about that. we
Yeah,
talked about
I watched
that. Well,
Oxygen. It's on Netflix. You guys seen Oxygen?
mm-mm.
It's good. You know, it's a good movie, but like by the end of it, I was like, oh yeah, they hit a few points, and I was like, ooh, just spice this movie up a little bit for conspiracy people. I like it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to watch it just because somebody had mentioned that it was like Hollow Earth stuff. So I thought it was good. But there was something, Charlie, you wanted to talk about on the podcast.
Oh yeah, I was
Bloodline stuff.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about. I think one of the last episodes was the spiritual warfare, and so I've just been thinking about it a lot. And there are cursed bloodlines in the Bible that, like, for thousands of years after the curse was on, like, the father of that bloodline, it's been, you know, they followed suit with those curses for a long time. Now, who knows where, you know, those bloodlines end up now, but it was pretty interesting. I refreshed myself on it this morning. So in, I think it's like Genesis 5 or 6, Noah, he's got 3 sons, and right after the flood and all the water subside and everything like that, and they're exploring the world now that it's all new and the environment's completely different and everything like that. The middle son, Ham, he, like, I'm pretty sure what happens is he sees that Noah is, like, in his tent with no clothes on, sleeping. And so he's like, calls his brothers, Shem and Japheth. He's like, hey, come look at that. He's naked. Blah, blah. And they're like, what are you doing, man? Why are you humiliating him like that? So they go in and they cover him up. Like, they go backwards with their robe or blanket, whatever. They cover him up. And I think what actually happened is Ham takes his robe off and exposes Noah, and humiliates him. So when Noah wakes up and he's like, where the heck's my clothes at? They tell him that, you know, Ham, you know, is playing a prank on you. And he's like, nah, that's not cool. I'm cursing you to be the slave and your line, the slaves of your brothers, and you will always be lesser than them. So this is just crazy. You go to the next chapter and it gives you the descendants of all these guys. And Ham's descendants are Canaan, which was the land of Canaan, where the giants were that the Israelites had to go fight. Egypt, which is the land that Egypt's named after, which enslaved Israel for 400 years, whatever it was. And then some other, you know, names I can't pronounce, but that ended up being the Philistines with Goliath, that were just warring against Israel for thousands of years. And I was like, yo, dude, that's wild.
Wow.
And then you've got I don't know if this has been disproved or not, but so from Israel's line, you know, you have Abraham that comes around and he's the father of the nation of Israel. He has a promised son to him, who's Isaac. But before he has Isaac, he takes matters into his own hands, sleeps with the handmaiden Hagar, has a son. But God rejects that son, Ishmael. They think, it's been theorized, I don't know if it's been disproved, that the Islamic nation came from Ishmael, and Isaac, you know, has Jacob, who is, you know, he is named Israel.
Right.
All of Jacob's sons are. But then, so Abraham has Ishmael and Isaac. Ishmael's rejected, and there's Isaac, and then Isaac has twins, and the older son Esau is rejected by God, and it's Jacob. So there's 2 rejected bloodlines out there, and then 1 cursed bloodline that are still out there.
I wonder,
who knows where they end up. I don't know if anybody, you know, can do more research into where Ham's bloodline ends up.
Yeah.
But it definitely is Egypt, Canaan, the Philistines.
Yeah,
like
where mine went was like, could any of those bloodlines be the bloodlines that run the world right now?
Right.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm thinking. Like, well, if it was a cursed bloodline that's running the world now, then, like I was saying, we're watching the dismantling of the deep state. Like, could be, right?
Yeah.
If it's these rejected bloodlines, I mean, who the fuck knows?
Well,
like,
that's
like, okay, let's just say all of this is legit, right? And let's just say, like, your bloodline is rejected by God. What then?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What does that mean? Does it say anything more about, like, what that means?
not entirely, no. But what's interesting is like when we were talking a few weeks ago with everything that's happening in Israel, you were asking Jade, what, and I think Jeff, you asked, what's the motivation behind it? And it's like, there is none. It is like, why do people over here who have nothing to do with the territory battle over there, why is there so much hate for Israel? I think it has to do with the bloodlines. There's just it's in them to hate that chosen bloodline. I'm rejected. I just have to hate you.
Could be. You don't want to know something, man? I'm going to say this, and this is going to be controversial as fuck, but there are people, and I've actually said this before, so maybe not, but there are people at the top of every organization who are fucking scumbags. There are people at the top, right? I don't know what word you use to describe the top of like the Jewish or like Israeli, you know what I'm talking about? The top of like Israeli thing, right? Like there's somebody in there is a fucking asshole, right? I'm not one of these that's out here that's saying like 100% everybody on this team is 100%, everybody on that team is bad. No, there's definitely an asshole. And I think that the assholes at the top of Israel are perpetrating their own thing. Like you were saying, like it's an endless thing. There's no real reason. It's just an endless war. And I think it's the same in Palestine. And it's the same in any other country where there's like strife going on that's just like endless. It's because they do it on purpose. I feel like the people's at the top, they know, they actually hang out. They probably, circle jerk each other all the time. But their people are bombing each other to make this theater just carry on. You know what I mean? So like, maybe you're right, bro. Maybe like these cursed or these shunned bloodlines just found their ways, because I could say I'm Jewish, or I could say I'm Muslim, or I could say I'm Christian, and I can work my way to the top of the church in any one of these organizations and be completely full of shit. People do it all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Well, even in the Bible, God calls out Israel and says, not all Israel is Israel.
Right.
You're not all, even if you're born in that, even you're born Jewish by birthright, that doesn't make you, just because you're born that doesn't make you true Israel.
Right.
So there's good people in there that are you're just there because you're born into it and nothing else.
And somebody else gave me some heat when I ranted about this shit the last time. And it's like, I think that there's some fucked up things that the people at the top that use Judaism as a cloak, right? They're doing fucked up things, just like anybody else. There's people in the Vatican that use their religion as a cloak to get away with shit. You know what I mean? So yes, it's fucked up, right? Like there's things that Israel is doing to the Palestinians that is totally fucked up. And like, you would think that they'd have a reason to go do whatever they're doing, but it's just too complicated for anybody, especially over here, to give a fuck, not even to give a fuck, but to like comprehend. Nobody knows, man.
Yeah.
And even if you could comprehend all the geopolitical thousands of years of shit, even if you could break all that down, and people have, you're not going to break down the personal motivations of this guy and that guy who are at the top of these organizations or whatever, governments,
But yeah, like to what he said, I think it's maybe like not even, it's like a subconscious thing because of the bloodline, maybe.
Yeah, it's just encoded in the DNA
like
or something.
There,
you know what, man? It totally could be. That's really interesting though, that there'd be like, I think it's interesting that there'd be like, what's the word that you used? Not shunned. Rejected. Yeah, like rejected bloodlines like that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. What does that mean?
The two things that happened was like, there was strife immediately in Abraham's family between Hagar and Ishmael and Sarah and Isaac. And then with Jacob and Esau, Jacob swindles Esau out of his birthright. And there's strife there immediately,
right.
So it's almost like just the same sibling rivalry that plays out now, where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do it because this is just what we do. You can't explain why you fight with a sibling.
Right.
You just do.
Yeah.
And so it's just on a global scale. It's pretty crazy. I was really blown away. I always normally like skip over all of the lineages a lot of the times, but reading Ham's lineage, and it's like he's the cursed brother, all of his descendants fight against Israel. I was like, oh my gosh, dude. That's crazy.
That is interesting.
That's crazy. Thousands of years, dude.
Yeah.
Enslaved them, fought them, enslaved them, fought them, enslaved them, just for thousands of years. So it's like, what's to say they ever stopped?
Mm-hmm.
You know, who knows where they ever ended up? That's crazy.
Is that ancestry.com?
Ancestry. Yo, bro, listen, that whole thing, man. I gave my DNA to these people and I regret it, bro.
Yeah, but didn't you find out you're like eighth black or something?
I'm Nigerian, dude.
An eighth Nigerian?
Yeah, I'm Nigerian. Represent Nigeria. Yeah, bro. Fuck yeah.
That's crazy.
Nigerian, bruh. Get wrecked, get exposed.
Are you enough Nigerian to get like whatever the reparations?
Fuck yeah, I am.
40 acres and a mule, dude.
Fuck yeah, I am. I'm enough Nigerian to get whatever the hell I want. I'm also enough disabled, enough gay, enough woman, enough single, enough
not offensive.
I have enough not offensive. I'm enough of all the things that I need to get the maximum amount of government funding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Coming for you,
whatever
system.
you want to be, Jeffrey.
I'm coming for you, system. I'm also vaccinated. I got all the vaccines, not just the Covidius minimus. I got all of the vaccines.
Vaccinated.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got my shots.
I get 30 a year.
Wink, wink.
Anytime the government or the experts are like, there's a thing, I'm like, give me the shot.
Put it in me.
Jab me.
There was a guy that came and delivered pizza to us, and he like asked to come inside to put the pizza down, and he's like, don't worry, I got my vaccine. And I was like, I kind of want you to stay out now.
You just put it down. You put it down right there.
Actually,
change my mind, don't come inside.
Oh man, I'm getting to the point now. There was a while where I'd see people with masks and I'd like try not to let it bother me, because do what you want. I saw a guy today in the middle of the parking lot by himself with a mask on, and I just I felt bad, dude. I'm just like, I feel bad for people now.
It's
like,
true. The people driving alone in the car,
driving alone in your car,
like,
man, I feel bad.
You poor guy.
Okay, maybe you're an Uber driver, but not all of them are Uber drivers.
No. Yeah. It's I for the first time went, because we don't really go much places, not because of COVID, just it's a lot with kids, so we usually stay places that are outdoors. Like, we don't go indoors to a lot of places, but we went to the beach, and had to run into like CVS, and like went to a restaurant, and we didn't wear a mask anywhere, and nobody was wearing their masks. And I was like, this is great. But it's sad that I even have to like,
well, no, because COVID's over now, Jade. You don't understand. Like, whatever happened, the experts have come out now in enough places to basically say, it's pretty safe to just go about life as long as you're vaccinated, right? But we got to go on the honor system, and you just have to tell us that you're vaccinated, and we're all going to trust it. And like, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a big enough deal for us to like verify if you're vaccinated. It's not a big enough deal for you to have to wear a mask anymore. In fact, it's not even a big enough deal for you not to go to work or to school anymore. It's all good now. Miraculously.
Yeah.
Fucking miraculously, right? How long has it been since the last election, guys? Hasn't even been a fucking year yet. People think that this shit was a long time ago. No, man. Every election year, there's a fucking giant theater that goes on to get everybody all uppity about whatever's going on, and look what just happened. And listen, all my people who love Trump, dude, look, I know that most of them have good intentions. They're not all white supremacists. They're just, but they also got duped. The whole COVID thing, the whole masking, the whole shut down the country, world, it all happened on Trump's watch, dude. And I don't want to hear, oh, the deep state, and it's hard, and you had a lot of people pushing back on him, and he just couldn't. Bullshit, dude. The fuck out of here with that. He's in on it, man. Him, Bush, Obama, Biden, Clinton, they're all the same. They're all on the same team. They always have been. They're really good at making people think they're not. But the two-party system, the dogma of two-party, is literally designed and created by the elites, not that long ago, a couple hundred years ago, not even that long ago, to get everybody distracted, to make everybody fight about things.
Pick sides
And just fight. among each other. It's just all bullshit, dude. So, sorry for all my Trump fans. I enjoyed him because it was entertaining to watch the world crumble and freak out about Orange Man bad. It was super entertaining to me. Honestly, just kind of like this whole COVID thing was super entertaining to me. Yeah, people died. I know it's fucked up and it's sad, but what are you going to do? Cry or laugh? I'm going to laugh because I fucking told you.
Well, have you ever noticed it's like no matter who gets elected, Democrat or Republican, there's never going to be a third party. The elites always benefit.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what happens. They never, like the billionaires never suffer.
Who made the most money last year? Anybody know?
I don't know. Target.
Bezos.
Bezos, of course.
How much money did Bezos make last year?
Like 16 billion.
He made way more than you and me and everybody else whose businesses got shut down.
And he got divorced and still made more money.
I know
people, half of everything.
Bro. I know people who lost their jobs. I know people who literally lost their companies, because of this whole shutdown thing. They lost their fucking livelihoods.
And Charmin Ultra is doing record numbers.
Oh yeah, Johnson & Johnson through the roof.
Kodak's back on the map too because they're making vaccines.
Yeah, Kodak's making. Jesus.
Fujifilm's out here doing really good.
My god! Didn't they have vending machines with disposable cameras?
Yeah.
Okay, well they're making vaccines now. Jab me.
Seriously, dude.
Can't with this fucking world, man.
They've engineered it to a point where they never lose.
Yep.
Like they are the house.
Well,
they always win.
Especially with vaccine manufacturers, they're immune to prosecution.
Oh.
They are immune of there's no liability.
Yeah.
You can literally die, and there's nothing you can do about it because they're not liable.
Well, that takes away all of the precautions now.
So
like, I could put arsenic in there.
But this isn't new. That's very blatant. It's very blatant how their laws are written for that. However, all of our society is basically built on this system where the consumer is the one that takes the liability and the responsibility.
But then they kind of force you in a way, like even the vaccines that most of us have taken that are been around forever, like you can opt out of them, but it's like frowned upon. Right. You know what I mean? Like most doctors are like, it's not a question. You have to get them to come here. Like even our pediatrician, if you don't do vaccines, like you're not allowed to bring your kid there. Right. So if you ever change your mind, you got to go find a new doctor. But it's like, yeah, these vaccines, even the ones that have been around, they're not safe. And they make you feel like if you choose not to do them, then you're, an anti-vaxxer or whatever. But it's like, you're just questioning. You're just questioning, is this what's best for my kid? You know what I mean? But it's like, they still kind of force you into it in a way.
You can't bring them to public school. Yeah. Like all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
you have to get like this exemption paperwork and stuff like that. So it's like, you're almost just like, well, I guess, go ahead. Everyone else does it,
No, but everybody wants you to, if you don't get your kids vaccinated, Jade, you're the problem.
Is that going to turn back on?
Yeah, it'll turn back on. Okay. Yeah, you're the problem if you don't get them vaccinated. This is for everybody else's good. But the problem is that everybody else who says that, everybody who uses that as their argument, like, you don't care about everybody else. Those are the people who don't do any research at all. Those are the people who literally watch the news, CNN and Fox News, and they just regurgitate the information that's being fed to them. They question nothing. The most dangerous people in the world are the people who don't question anything. Not conspiracy theorists. People who question everything or question a lot of shit, they are not the dangerous people. The real danger to our society, the real danger to our democracy is people who don't question anything. Yeah. Imagine what this world would look like if there was never a revolution in the world, ever in history. If the people never questioned authority and stood up for themselves, we would literally still be slaves to whoever the first civilization was, Rome, Greece, whoever was. Yeah. We would still be slaves run by a very elite few. I mean, we are that now, but it would be very, very different, very, very blatant. Like people who question things are what stand between chaos and not chaos, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah. it's sad. And especially like if you like, don't even call it like, oh, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but if you question anything, even your own family, if that's something different than what they think, they judge you just for, researching it and like not just mindlessly agreeing to XYZ, it's like even people I talk to about the COVID vaccine, it's like, yeah, sure, none of this is 100% factual yet because nobody is trying to research it, you know what I mean? But when are you going to realize that the media is not who you can trust, but the people around us that are all saying the same things? These are real people that are being affected. Like, why wouldn't you believe real people over the media and the government,
Mind control, man. MK Ultra, Operation Mockingbird. They got the media, and it's not just the news. It's not just the media. It's movies. It's TV shows. It's the blue check marks all over Twitter and everything, right? It's
so true.
It's literally all of the people. Here's the funny thing: all of this information that people just believe and trust everything up, it all comes from the top down. It's always an elite, or it's always a celebrity, or it's always a government official.
Katy Perry just got her vaccine.
Yeah.
I need to go get mine.
Guess what? All of those people that these people are like literally worshiping, their idols that they just follow in the footsteps of because they're successful and they're rich and they're famous, or they're a politician. And it's just like, you are the problem.
Yeah.
You're a danger to our democracy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Period. Those people sketch me out, man. When I saw that one guy in the middle of the parking lot by himself with the mask on, I really felt bad for him, but I also was like, you're the problem, dude. And it's not because you're wearing the mask. It's not so plain as that. It's not so one-dimensional. It's just like, I know who you are generally. I guarantee you buy into 80% or more of the garbage, and it's like,
yeah.
There's a guy, Brian Callen, he does a podcast, The Fighter and the Kid, and he was talking about he's always been a guy that's like, well, what do I know? And I'm not an expert. This guy's the expert. And he's like gotten to a point now that he's older and spoken to enough quote unquote experts. He's like, actually, you're just a guy, you're just some 30-year-old guy with a degree and you're an idiot. And your degree or your expertise in this thing means nothing. You're actually stupid. And I have every right to question you. And I'm like, bro, if we had 10% more people like that. Yeah, exactly.
That's why your phone's not working.
But it's true, because like you sent me that one podcast to listen to where they were talking about the vaccines, the MMR vaccine, because we had just talked about it like a couple weeks ago in the podcast. But it was a doctor who believed in the vaccines and all of this stuff, but then he had this mom come to him with her son who like had this bad reaction to the vaccines and she needed help. And once he started really researching how the trials were done and what kind of kids they were doing trials for the MMR vaccine on like
mentally
challenged children that were like in a group home that didn't have parents. Like, you're expendable, nobody's gonna miss you if you die because of this type of thing,
but they're safe.
But and how can you get a real like legitimate knowledgeable like example of how this vaccine is gonna affect somebody when you're doing it on a kid that already has all these issues?
They don't.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's not the way it works, again, because of the way, because of the legal jargon, right? Because of the shenanigans with how everything's always written down and the legal this and the legalese, right? Remember I was talking about with Russell-J: Gould, right? This legalese system is garbage. Everything can be interpreted a million different ways. How good's your lawyer? You know what I'm saying? So that's how they could do that. That's how you can test a vaccine on mentally challenged kids in a home and get away with it.
Well, no. I know that's why they're doing it,
but I see what
like,
you're saying.
Just how for the parents of children to be able to trust the trial, it's like, yeah, you're not, this is not like a healthy regular child, that if something went wrong, it's going to be very
it's
obvious.
not a good test subject.
Right. It's a kid who's already got brain damage and then they die or something, and they just say it's pre-existing conditions.
They don't care. They don't have to test they don't have to test kids that are healthy to make sure that kids that are healthy are good. This is
what was done to test this vaccine that we're giving to our kids.
They don't question.
This doctor started, like, he's a real doctor. He started to question it all. And then he started getting blacklisted from, all of, these
he lost his
societies
career.
Or whatever they are called that doctors deal with. But it's like the doctors are not allowed to question these vaccines and what they're told, how to treat people. Once they do, they start to get blacklisted. So that should say a lot.
You get out of medical school with $250,000 worth of debt, and you get at least you get a job in the medical field. And now you just, let's say you're a year or 2 years in or whatever, it doesn't matter how long you are, and you discover or you learn or whatever that things may not be what you were taught. And what are you going to do?
You can't afford to go against the grain.
Hell no, you can't.
You got debt.
But that's the thing, is there are people who do. There are thousands and thousands of doctors and medical experts and scientists who this whole year, and not even just this year, but through history, have questioned things. They've questioned the MMR and all these other vaccines and GMOs and who knows what else. They've questioned everything. They get silenced. And not just recently with the recent social media shit. No, they've been this doctor you're talking about being blacklisted. He lost his whole career.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody knew who about this guy who was. My mom, I mentioned it to her, and she was like, she had like a vague memory. You know, she was like, yeah, I think I remember something about the MMR. Like, she didn't know, and it's just like, that's what they do. If you don't go with the program, you're just erased, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And if you don't go with the program, for those doctors that choose not to go against the grain, like, I could see a doctor being like, get the vaccine if you want, or don't, you know what I mean? Like, whatever is best for you and your child, but it doesn't work like that. They're either like, this is the way it is, and that's it, or the total opposite. So like I said, for our pediatrician, like, if you don't, you're gone. Like, you have to go somewhere else. And it's just crazy, because it's like, as a parent, don't you think you should be able, and anybody, but especially as a parent, like, you're responsible for this other human being. Like, you should be able to question what is being put into your child, and people don't let you.
Not only that, but like, if you're going to stick something in your kid, okay, and you're going to let any company, like, look at Pfizer, for instance, you know how many lawsuits, you know how much money Pfizer has paid out in lawsuits for a number of things, not just from COVID, just in the past. Moderna, you know how many lawsuits, you know how much money they paid out. It's just like, if you're going to inject my kid with some shit, you better have a fucking spotless record, and you better have the details and the data to show me that this is 100% on point. And if there's if there's one red flag, if you delete one piece of information to hide it from me, just one, you're not sticking that in my kid, bro. I do not understand how people stick these things in their kids. I get what you're saying. Like, you have to, in a lot of cases. I don't have kids, so I can say this with like a certain. I didn't
question it until recently, because it's just, it's just like what you do. You know what I mean?
Just think that the medical experts know what's best.
Until you start to realize that they don't always, and they're meant to be pushing things on you.
Sometimes you drop nuggets and I'm like, I need to Google that. And you're like, you brought up Pfizer specifically. 2009. American pharmaceutical giant Pfizer Inc. and its subsidiaries Pharmacia and Upjohn Company Inc. have agreed to pay $2.3 billion as the largest healthcare fraud settlement in the history of the Department of Justice to resolve criminal and civil liability arising from the illegal promotion of certain pharmaceutical products.
Whoa.
Pfizer has agreed to plead guilty to a felony violation of the FDCA, Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, for misbranding Bextra with the intent to defraud and mislead.
What is Bextra?
Bextra is an anti-inflammatory drug that Pfizer pulled from the market in 2005. So they were lying about it being still Bextra. But
so
it was
they were
just
trying to
something that
rebrand it.
Yeah.
Not only did they have a product that they claimed was safe, that they put out on the market, comes out it's not safe, but then they commit fraud and they fucking lied to you and gave you something else.
No, they gave you the same thing,
or you gave
right?
something else and called it
a different name.
Yeah. That's Pfizer, people. You know what I'm saying?
So bad.
But they got the big contract.
A felony, people.
But wait, let's go back.
Trust them.
Let's go back 10 episodes. 10 episodes ago, we talked about Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funded $20 million.
Their money.
$20 million. They gave Pfizer $20 million to research and create mRNA. This was years ago.
Yeah.
And then just up the end of the contract rolls around, Covidius Minimus hits, and they fucking, get the contract to do the billions of dollars worth of vaccinations, and all the while they've clearly committed fraud. They pled guilty. Bro.
That's crazy though, because you know how much. Hold on a second. Now I want to look up how much.
Here's the
man, and it's just an anti-inflammatory. What could have been so bad about it?
No, there was 4 other drugs.
They don't care. They had to pay what, 2.3 billion? Okay, how much did they make?
That's what I'm saying. I want to look right now.
They probably made 30 billion.
What is
off that drug? So yeah, okay, here's 2 or 3. That's like somebody giving you $30, and then the homeless guy at the corner is like, "Hey, bro, you got like $1 or 2," and you give him like $3 because like you feel bad for him. It ain't gonna kill you $30, bro. That's kind of what we're talking about.
We'll pay you this much, and we'll move on with our life.
Yep.
We got COVID coming. We'll be fine.
Scumbags, dude. People just, I don't know, man. It's hard because I have a lot of friends and family that listen to this that are vaccinated.
They do about $1 billion.
They do just listen to the program and go with it. And you know what? Like, I hate to bash on this stuff hard because I don't want them to feel like I think they're stupid or that I'm better than them or something like that. But dude, like all of you listening, you have not listened to me or anybody else talk about how important it is to do the research. You all laughed, you didn't listen, and the facts are out there. So next time you go get some synthetic trash injected into your body, okay, all these people shop for organic foods, right? They all shop. I want my organic, GMO free. I need electrolyte enhanced waters, and all these people are super health conscious. I'm a vegan. I don't eat any meat. You gotta eat living food, not dying. But you're just gonna go with the synthetic injections that have by people who have been proven to be fucking dirtbags. I hate to bash on them, man. They're my friends, but you know what? They fucked up.
Well, that's the thing. It's like all you go and lie to all these people, and all you have to do is pay Big Brother. Okay, here's 2.3 billion. They do 5.9 billion a year on one drug.
Oh my gosh.
On one.
That's crazy.
They've got dozens. So
they don't give a damn about $3 billion.
That was nothing. Chump change.
I don't give a damn. They had that in an account ready to go. They were like, yeah, we got like $5 billion.
They knew it was gonna happen at some point.
For sure.
We set this aside.
Accounting department set $5 billion aside just in case we got a problem.
We gotta dip into the $5 bill.
Oops. Vacation's gonna be a little light this year, Bill.
Only go to Greece 13 times.
Yeah, man. There you go. Gosh. But that's the truth, man. The truth is none of these corporations that are creating any pharmaceuticals have none of them have a spotless record. They have almost all been caught purposely lying or committing fraud or putting out bad products or not making products as safe as they could because it would be a penny more expensive. There was another thing I read about this. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Moderna or something, but they could have made the vaccine X percentage safer for about a penny more per dose.
I think I did see that.
And they just decided not to. The percentage wasn't big enough. And it's like, dude, fuck you guys, bro.
I've been reading a lot about the mRNA also, and it's new-ish, and I was reading that the main problem that they were having with it, and it was a very wordy article that I read, so I didn't retain it all. But basically, you know, it's an unstable thing that they were having trouble finding the best, I don't know, substance to like carry it in, like basically keep it in and put into the body.
Right.
So I forget what
like the right protein envelope.
Right. So they were using, or what they used was like lipid protein, but that hasn't been really tested as to how it distributes and stores into the body. So like a lot of like the old school vaccines, they just stay like in the muscle tissue where they're injected, and they don't really travel to like organs in the body. So this one hasn't really been tested to see where those proteins, spike proteins, which is what people are saying isn't shedding.
Right.
But it did say, this article said that the spike proteins are what goes through the body. And now studies are coming out that they're finding that those spike proteins are being stored in like ovaries and testes and like all of these
where the infertility
places
shit is talking about
that they shouldn't be storing in, right? They should stay in the muscle, but this is a new thing that they're trying. So they didn't have the testing to know what's going to happen once it's in the body.
Yeah. Let's just play devil's advocate for a second. Let's assume the FDA is 100% on point. Everything that they approve is 100% safe. Let's just assume everything that they approve is 100% safe. It's not, by the way. Anyway, let's just assume it is. Guess what's not FDA approved? The vaccines. Why? Because they had to get an emergency use declaration to bypass FDA approval to get this to the public. It still to this day does not have FDA approval.
No. And that's something I was talking to a coworker about, because they're like, well, hopefully, you know, I'll get it once it's FDA approved. And I'm like, I probably still won't get it, because look at how many medications are out there that are FDA approved, but they're toxic.
Yeah, like 10 years later, did you take the blah, 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 blah? If you took the blah, 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 and you suffered from blah, 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 you might be entitled to some money.
Yeah, and it's still, if it's FDA approved, it's still only X amount of years old. So we still don't know the like long-term stuff. And it's just like, even stuff that's approved, like that doctors have tried to give me, you look at the side effects and it's like, it's not worth it. So I probably still won't get it. But if I had to be forced to, at least I'd rather it be that than still in an experimental phase. But
the pharmaceutical industry does
not have a choice, I won't get it.
They have no benefit in curing people. That's what people need to really understand. Now, I remember like not that long ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, in the truther conspiracy world, and also in very progressive left wing circles, it was a big thing. It was like anti-big pharma, right? All my hippie friends and shit, they used to be super anti-big pharma. It was like this whole thing. There was this move towards holistic healing, and it was this move away from this synthetic big pharma. And then all of a sudden, this bullshit Covidius minimus, right? I like that. It's like a fucking spell from Harry Potter, right? Cast the spell of Covidius minimus on everybody, right? And then bam, all those earth-loving anti-big pharma hippies are literally like, get the jab, bro, because you care about everyone else, man. And it's like, you just fucked up, dude.
It's a minimal intrusion.
A minimal
It's
intrusion.
a maximal intrusion.
Let me tell you something.
And I don't get it because it's like those people that are saying that, they're also the people that are like, oh, you know, you can't cut your child's hair until they're old enough to give their permission.
Yeah, man. Their body, their choice, bro.
I don't cut my kids' hair until they can tell me that they want it cut.
It's literally mental fucking gymnastics these days, dude. And if you take, this is why I don't take a hard stance on a team. Now, I got hard opinions that I voice all the time, but I don't pick a team. Why? Because if you pick a team, now you have to walk backwards, bro. Or you're going to step on your own landmines, dude. It's just mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
How am I going to get this point across without offending my team? Fuck you. Fuck your teams, dude. You know what I mean? Speak your mind, be who you want to be, and just do what you want to do. You don't have to be on a team. You don't have to vote blue because you voted blue last time. You don't have to vote blue because you hate orange man. You don't have to vote red because you hate blue man. You don't have to do these things. This is just a game for you to play to keep you distracted until the next iPhone comes out. Just everybody needs to pull out, delete your Facebook, You know what I'm saying? Turn off your Wi-Fi router while you're
Still
sleeping.
don't have signal on my phone.
You know,
weird. So strange.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, I'm looking at the top 10 biggest pharmaceutical lawsuits.
Let's hear it.
Your boy Johnson and Johnson's on here twice.
Let's read the list.
We already knew that.
Give me the
everything
list.
they have causes cancer.
Read it out for the people, bro.
Number 10 is Amgen. They're all pretty much the same lawsuits.
Okay, biggest ever. What is it? Biggest ever pharma lawsuits by settlement amount.
Yeah. So 10 is some company Amgen. 9 is Bayer and Johnson & Johnson. Then you have TAP Pharmaceutical, Merck, Eli Lilly and Company, Abbott Laboratories. Number 4, Johnson & Johnson again. Number 3 is Pfizer. And then that was in 2007 or 8, maybe 9. They got beat by Takeda Pharmaceuticals. And then some other company came in at $3 billion. GlaxoSmithKline.
GlaxoSmithKline.
Now, guys, listen. Just look them up.
What? You've heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
I
really?
haven't.
Click on them, bro. Google their name, bro.
GlaxoSmithKline.
You do 5 minutes of research into this company, you'll connect dots.
Wow.
This is what I do, man.
This is what he does.
I go and I Google the big names, the big numbers. I'm just like, okay.
I can't wait till we have like a warehouse of minions that just like look shit up for us.
This is what we need to be doing.
And I could just sit at the podcast throne and be like, listen, look
pull
this,
it up on
pull
the
it up.
screen.
And there's like a army of clones that are just like.
This is what we're going to be doing in the Discord. We're just going to be doing homework.
So funny, bro.
GlaxoSmithKline registered. I don't know. I'll have to do some research on it.
Yeah, look, bro. Here's all I'm saying is big pharma doesn't care about you, man. They want to cure your ailments. They want to preserve your ailments because that's how they make money. That's what curing is. Curing is preserving. You cure it to preserve it. They're not curing it to get rid of it.
So you need another medicine.
Of course, man.
For the new
problem, reaction, solution. Hegelian dialectic. We cause the problem. We offer a solution. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Big pharma's bullshit. People, human beings, lived on this planet for who the fuck knows. I mean, depending on what you believe, either 6,000 years or 6 billion years, right? Whatever. People lived here forever without big pharma. So why does everybody just think that we need big pharma? If you don't get big pharma, this is dangerous. Oh my God, if everybody's not vaccinated, the whole world could get wiped out from this virus.
Good.
That's what I used to say, man. Let the nukes fly,
What?
dude. Let them fly, bro.
GlaxoSmithKline. It is the world's biggest vaccine company.
Yeah. Okay, I think we talked about this too. Vaccine reporting. This is a big problem. Vaccine reporting. It's estimated, there's a Harvard study. Okay, this is not some schmucks. A Harvard study says that about 1% of negative reactions get reported properly to the VAERS system, VAERS system.
Even if you look at the trials for these vaccines, it says the people that were in the trials like drop out, you know, so it's like they stopped reporting if they're having any issues and they're in the trials. It's not even just,
so,
you know, regular
1% get reported. 1% of negative reactions, including death, 1% get reported. So then they'll tell you the number. Oh, it's safe. Only whatever number of people have negative reactions. Okay, that's 1%. So, you know, tack 2 zeros on the end of that, and that's your real number. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's like, you know, it's just people just need to stop, man. Everybody's just so caught up and like they think that they know what they're talking about because the experts say so, and it's coming out every single day that the last expert was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I seen the Alex Jones was right tip jar meme. You seen that?
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
Spilling over.
Hilarious.
Tip jar?
Yeah, you know, like when you like a curse jar, every time I say fuck, I put a quarter in there.
Yeah.
You guys would be rich. But yeah, there's like a meme going around. It's like the Alex Jones was right tip jar.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. That's funny. We should do that. Every time we're right.
New partnership between Glasgow and Klein and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to accelerate research into vaccines for the global health.
They're everywhere.
I told you. If you
Come
look
on.
for 5 minutes.
What the heck?
Who didn't see that?
It only takes a minute,
Gates,
man. I know it's hard for people to not do other things, but with 5-10 minutes of your time, you can find this out too.
Being a conspiracy theorist is not that hard.
Delete your Facebook and your Instagram, and you'll have plenty of time to do the research yourself.
Yeah. If anybody wants to send me an apology for anything that is, that I've been ostracized for, I love chocolate cake.
Or you can subscribe, sponsor
that other company,
the
Eli
podcast
Lilly,
for 99 cents a month as a sorry.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But chocolate cake is really good. I'll take chocolate cake apologies as well. What'd you say over there?
That other company, Eli Lilly and Company,
that
got sued.
Bill Gates and Eli Lilly pausing antibody trial due to safety concerns.
What the heck?
He's just partnering with every shady company, dude. Every vaccine company has Bill Gates money.
Yeah, man.
And he wants less people on the earth.
And they all have paid out millions and millions and billions of dollars. Is anybody
wondering why he's so involved with so many
all of them
vaccine companies?
Because
that's not even
he's like
how
Lex
he
Luthor,
made it
man.
big.
No, he's Lex Luthor. You know what it is? Here's what it is. I
get it. Why?
He's always been part of the program. His mom was part of the system.
Really?
So yeah. So it's not like he just came out of nowhere and became Bill Gates and now he's doing all this fucked up shit. No, his mom was connected to people in the intelligence agencies and all the secret bullshit programs. He was connected. He was brought up from birth, bro, to be put in the place of Bill Gates as he is now.
Exactly
the cursed bloodline
about Orange Man.
What?
I can't read it. It's kind of small.
Eli Lilly, the U.S. drug maker, said it's partnering with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to supply COVID-19 antibody therapy to low and middle income countries. This announcement came moments before the U.S. President Donald Trump said he would approve Eli Lilly's antibody treatment in the U.S.
Why? Here's why.
How could you ever approve a company that is the number 4 biggest lawsuit?
Well, check this out. You want to go a step further than that? There's one way that you can get an emergency use declaration for a vaccine and bypass FDA approval. There is one way to do it. Does anybody know what that is? Only if there are no
other treatments.
No other treatments or therapies available.
Which is why they said
which basically means if there's no other option out there, if you can rub olive oil on your butthole and it makes it go away, you cannot get an emergency use declaration for a vaccine.
Drinking the bleach.
What did you just read on that last page? Days before they were going to approve a therapy, an antibody treatment in the US. The announcement came moments before US President Donald Trump said that he would approve an antibody treatment. Moments beforehand. This isn't a game, dude. It's a game to them. But like people think that being a conspiracy theorist or whatever you want to call it. I like the word because I want to take the word back. I think the word has been demonized, right? Kind of like what Sam Tripoli does with tinfoil hat. You know, he took the term tinfoil hat back. It's like his word now. You know what I'm saying? Like conspiracy theory, I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be a conspiracy theorist. You know what I'm saying? Because it's interesting, it's fun, and you're fucking right half the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yep. So, you know.
This guy is the shadiest guy.
That's just the way it goes, bros.
The big lawsuits, man.
When are they not?
Oh, you've committed fraud against the FDA? How's about $2 billion?
You want the next big contract because there's a pandemic? Oh, no problem.
I heard you guys got sued the largest. Now you're the third largest, but would you like to commit more fraud? Hey, guess what? What if I told you they can't sue you? Like, yes.
Yeah, you're immune from prosecution.
Yes, finally.
Oh, man, dude, how convenient is that? But no, this is a conspiracy theory, Jade. This is all a conspiracy theory. Trust the experts.
It's freaking nuts.
How long have we been going?
I don't know.
Long time, huh? Good episode, guys. You guys did a good job.
Thanks.
You did a good job. Everybody needs to go to our website and help us out, man. We need to upgrade some things. There's a lot of shit going on. You need to go buy a shirt. All right. The shirts are cheap, bro. Our shirts are cheaper than any shirts you're going to go. If you go to a show to your favorite band, they're going to charge you $20, $25 for a shirt. Okay, I got shirts on there for less than $20, $25.
Yeah,
Free
you can
shipping.
become a supporter for as little as 99 cents a month.
99 cents a month, bro. People piss that away. I know every single person listening to this wastes.
But you can do more than that too.
Here's the thing. Everybody listening to this right now, based on the numbers, every single person listening to this, I know wastes $1 a month. If every person who listens to this gave us that $1 instead, we could literally
give us the $1 a month.
There you go.
You know, because I waste plenty of dollars.
Upgrade our production quite a bit. If everybody who's listening to this episode pitched in $1 a month. So
help us make better
podcasts. I need to pay the Minion clone army to do the research.
We need to pay for the fat suit.
And the fat suit. We need the fat suit.
And the lab testing on the vaccine. Like we've got lots of work to do, people, to bring you answers.
We need your help. So, but yeah, go check it out. shadowbandpodcast.com. What else? There's something else that I wanted to say, but I don't remember.
The Discord.
The Discord's on the website. So if they go to the website,
join the Discord.
Just go to the website. Stop going to YouTube. Stop going to wherever you're going. Just go to the website.
Dude.
It's all there. All the episodes are there.
Eli Lilly, they're with Bill Gates doing the low income stuff. Abbott Laboratories is number 5 largest lawsuit ever. They partner with Gates Foundation to do the rapid test.
Oh my!
He just went down the list of all the top 5, all the biggest lawsuits, and was like, "I'm partnering with every one of these guys."
Wow!
So they had a $1.5 billion settlement for falsifying and frauding the FDA, and they are doing all of your rapid testing.
Oh my!
Rapid test.
Trust the experts, guys.
Trust them all. Yeah, guys, do your own research, man.
Jeez.
You know,
it's really not that hard.
It's
pretty easy to find this stuff. So, if you look.
If I can do it.
If we can do it.
I'm not gonna say anything about him, but
if he can do it.
You guys.
All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. I love everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.